Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Ironsides and the Blondie.
What?
I don't know character names yet. I'm still struggling with that.
First off, Ironsides sounds like a bar. Hello, everybody. We have just had our minds blown with Mind War, and it is officially time now to babble for 5. First and foremost, I want to know, just on some weird off chance, did you recognize anybody in this episode?
Yeah, I think we had a rogue Russian sneak onto Babylon 5.
Yes!
He worked on his accent, and he now speaks with an American accent, so there you go.
Yeah, I changed a lot.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but I know enough about Star Trek to know Chekov when I see him.
All right, so you did recognize Walter Koenig in this very different role. Definitely a departure from Chekov.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm dying to know, now that we know a little more information about the Psi Corps, like we've known that Talia Winters was a telepath, and there's an organization that controls telepaths. Now we're really getting to know it. What do you think about the Psi Corps?
That's a tough one. I think right now we're still figuring it out. And I think just like anything, it was probably started with good intentions. And when it grew powerful, it became corrupt and corruptible. I think we got to see an absolute power in this episode. When you have the ability to manipulate the universe with your mind, that's absolute power.
I think we saw two things. One was the power struggle with telepaths. If they just keep getting more and more powerful, you keep ascending that ladder, there's still the battle of people wanting control, wanting to reign supreme. And Jason, Talia's lover, was an experiment gone wrong to kind of show as evidence that this could end very badly. Humanity's not ready for this level. So I'd love to know a little more about what you think about Bester, since that is Walter Koenig.
Just like anyone in that kind of position, corruptible, and obviously got corrupted at some point and thought he was bigger than he was and better than he was, and got put in his place a little bit.
So do you think he is corrupt?
I think he's corruptible. I don't know that he is corrupt. No one is 100% anything.
I want to move over to the subplot with Catherine Sakai and Jakar. One thing I really appreciated on this watch in particular was this subplot and the interaction between these two. There's some really cool energy going on. And what did you think about this whole story? Like when Jakar ordered the heavily armed fighters to go to Sigma 957, what were you thinking?
I saw that happening a mile away. When he ordered the heavily armed force in, I never thought it was to knock out somebody who basically had no firepower whatsoever. You don't order heavily powered things to knock out somebody who can't fight back. I thought it was as an escort, and for whatever purpose it ended up being, and I never thought that it was anything malicious. And
okay, because I mean, I think the story's trying to deceive you a little bit into thinking, ooh, is Jakar really going to kill Catherine Sakai? Like, what kind of game is he playing here? No, absolutely not. It's the complete opposite. And we don't completely know his motives as to why. Maybe he's just a nice guy.
Yeah, and I think the motives kind of came out at the end of the episode. He knew it would be a good thing in the long run for him to do to build favor with people who were important on Babylon 5. Ultimately, it was a thing that he did because he knew it would be good for him.
He says some pretty profound things. There's some memorable quotes in this episode. One of my favorites being, "No one here is exactly as they appear." I think he proved that a little bit in this episode.
Absolutely. I think that it sets up the whole idea that anything's possible with this series. People are going to change and grow or regress, as the case may be.
Yeah, possible.
And that's going to be a core piece of this entire series.
One last thought. Talia gets a little gift from Jason at the very end. She moves the penny for the first time. Any thoughts as to where that might lead?
It's going to come out at a weird time, probably at an uncontrollable time, and then she's going to have to explain it all, and that's not going to be pleasant.
I think it also brings up a possibility that, what if Talia can't control this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how deep was the gift? How much did he actually give her?
We don't know.
Scary.
Other thoughts on this episode? What have you got?
A couple more. One alt title, One of the things that I took from this episode was it doesn't matter how powerful you are, there is someone out there ready to keep you in your place.
Good life lesson.
The other thing that I take away from this was at one point, Jason was Talia's teacher.
Yes.
And then they became lovers.
There's some issues there possibly.
As a teacher, that's the thing I do for a living? No!
In that respect, we know that in one way, Psi-Core is corrupt.
Gross.
Ew.
Mm.
Let's leave off on that happy note then. Please, if you enjoyed this content, like and subscribe, hit the bell going for notifications as soon as we upload a brand new episode, and in the comments, please make sure you're spoiler free, but please feel free to join the comments. We want you to be a part of the conversation. Share what you're thinking about this episode and your journey through Babylon 5. Let's keep the party going. And until next time, guys, we have babbled for 5.